Hey, welcome back, day 13. Okay, so today I'm going to work on the lily of the valley up here. I'm going to introduce a new stitch. I'm going to do a whip stitch along the stem of this and round to the flowers. And then I'm probably going to satin stitch the actual tiny little flowers that hang on there. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. I'm really pleased with what I'm achieving here and how much I've accomplished in the last 12 days. So don't forget, if you're enjoying this too, please hit that thumbs up and give this a like. And if you want to see more like this, please hit that subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to start on the lily of the valley. So I've made sure I've got my green thread already on my needle. And I'm going to start from the bottom of the stem, bringing my needle up. And then I'm going to create a larger back stitch than I have done on my previous stems. And I'm going to work my way right the way along. Now, if you're the same as me and some of your pieces did not transfer across when we used our carbon paper to print our design onto our canvas, you've got a couple of options. You can either wing it, which is what I will do, or you can just grab a pen or pencil and just lightly mark that in if you prefer an actual line to follow. For now though, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to concentrate on this main stem, and then after I've whip stitched this, that'll be when I do my little stems that come off of the main one. Right, now I've come to the end with my back stitch. I'm going to bring my thread just back up, just beside the top stitch. And then I'm going to pull it over the top and then through or underneath the second stitch. And then now we're back over this side, and then the stitch underneath, I'm just going to take it over the top and just push my needle underneath. And that is how simple whip stitch is. I'm just going to continue that right down to the end. The reason I like the whip stitch for this stem is because I feel like it gives it a bit more of a rounded sort of feel rather than flat, which obviously the stems naturally are, but then also I feel it just gives it a little bit of another texture. And then when we get to the end, it's the same, up, over, and then back under. And then I'm just going to take it back over and beside the bottom and pull it through. And then I'm going to fasten that off, and I'm going to continue my whip stitch for the little off branches. Okay, so I've finished my whip stitching all round the stem. Just up here where it was a bit smaller, all I did was put in one stitch and then I just whipped it back on itself, and it's worked out absolutely fine. So now for the actual flowers, I've got the white cotton back on my needle, and I'm just going to satin stitch each of these. So I'm going to start at the base for my satin stitch. I'm going to start at the base of the flower, and then I'm just going to bring it out, and I'm almost going to fan the satin stitch. So I put my needle back really close at the base again, and then just bring it out just next to the previous stitch, and then I'm going back almost in the same hole and bring that up and over, and then probably back in the same hole again, up, and then I'm just going to work from the outside back in to the center. So at the bottom they are sort of overlapping a bit, and then actually I'm just going to put a tiny little stitch on the end, and then over here again, starting at the base, and just going to basically, as I say, do the satin stitch all around but in a fanned shape. So I finished on my satin stitch for all the little flowers. Hopefully you can see the way that I've fanned these out, and I'm really pleased with the effect. I've still got the white threaded on, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to back stitch round these just to sort of frame them. I mean, back stitching round these is just going to be personal choice, because I mean they do look quite pretty and effective if you was to just leave them as they are. There we go, I've finished back stitching all round. I'm really pleased with the way that sort of framed them and finished them off. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Hope you've enjoyed this again today. If you have, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and give this a like, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hopefully see you tomorrow for day 14. Thank you.